Okay, so I'm back, and today I want to cover this article that goes into detail about this meeting between Putin of Russia, Modi of India, and Xi of China, as well as a bunch of other leaders. You can see them. I mean, I can recognize some of them. This is Erdogan of Turkey. This is Lukashenko of Belarus. There's Modi. There's Putin. There's Xi. I don't recognize all the others, but it's a meeting of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, a Eurasian security grouping of 10 countries led by China and Russia. And essentially, what this represents is a shift of the global order from the rules-based order that we've had since World War II into this new type of multipolar order, where instead of having, the Western countries being stronger, we have multiple players now who are more powerful, and it kind of is a shift of power towards these authoritarian leaders, and it kind of takes us to a different type of world. It's kind of a world of how things used to be, like before World War II, where the strong can do what they want and the weak will suffer what they must, where the age of empire comes back and strong countries are free to invade their neighbor. Like Russia can invade Ukraine, the US can invade South America, China can invade Taiwan. Like you're allowed to do these things to your neighbor. It's a blow to the rules-based international order and to international law, and it's kind of a return to might makes right imperialism, and that's essentially what it kind of represents. It's a world where the strong can dominate the weak, and for the record, this is what Europe looked like pre-World War One. This is what a multipolar world order looks like in Europe. You have Britain, France, Germany, Russian Empire, Austria-Hungary, the Ottomans, and well, we know what happened. This whole map kind of blew up, and the Russian Empire fell, the German Empire fell, and Poland reemerged. Austria-Hungary collapsed. The Ottomans collapsed. A whole lot of stuff happened, and it also kind of reminds me of 1984, where if you ever read the book, the world is split into Oceania, East Asia, and Eurasia, where you have what would be the U.S. in control, and the U.K. in control of the Americas, and the U.K. as well as parts of South Africa and Australia and New Zealand. You have essentially China in control of East Asia, and then you have essentially Russia/Soviet Union in control of a lot of Russia, Eastern Europe. Although it looks like they got more in just Eastern Europe here, and then Central Asia. And this is kind of is this what we're going back into? Is this what the world is going to be like? It's just going to be empires gobbling up territory, and well, perhaps this is what this meeting sort of indicates. Um, and it kind of indicates that the Pax Americana is done. The American peace after World War II, where countries could feel secure by not being invaded by their neighbors. Yeah, I mean, it may not be as much of a thing anymore, unfortunately. And a big reason for this is because of Trump, because Trump just makes the U.S. fundamentally untrustworthy. Why make a deal with the U.S. when Trump or another president could just come along and undo the deal? It makes us look untrustworthy. Our allies don't like us. Other countries don't want to align with us or make deals with us, and they go to these other authoritarian countries, instead, because at least they're stable. At least they can potentially be trustworthy. But one thing I will say about these types of countries is that they're not necessarily allies in as strong of a way as the Western countries are allies with each other, because these people are sort of allies of sorts, right? They're allies when it's beneficial to them, but ultimately they're in it for themselves, right? They're allies in the sense that they want to see a multipolar order where their power is increased, but they're not necessarily on the same page. Ultimately, Russia wants what's best for Russia, China wants what's best for China, et cetera, India for India. Their interests do diverge. So, for instance, India and China have had border disputes, like along Kashmir, and so they're not necessarily aligned on the same page. You also have organizations like BRICS, right, which is like wants to be an alternative to the dollar being the world's reserve currency. The problem is that the BRICS countries can't agree on what currency is going to replace the dollar, right? Because everyone wants their country to be their currency to be the one that replaces the dollar. So they're kind of becoming like friends of sorts. They're frenemies. There'll be times when they work together, and there's times when they will be more hostile towards each other. And this is true for the U.S. also. Like this is just might be how the 21st century kind of goes for us. At least that's the path that we're going on right now. Yeah, I encourage you to read the article. That's kind of what I had to say at a high level. It's overall represents a shift away from the Pax Americana, away from the rules-based international world order, and a shift into a world where might makes right and the strong can do what they want. Honestly, it is a little bit grim. Uh, yeah. So sorry to end it on a bummer, but that's all I got now.